The movement of the Earth on its axis from west to east is technically called
rotation.
What is the approximate time taken by the Earth to complete one rotation relative to the fixed stars?
23 hours 56 minutes 4 seconds.
The time interval between two consecutive transits of the Sun across the meridian is called a
solar day.
The axis of the Earth, which is an imaginary line, makes an angle of how many degrees with its orbital plane?
66.5 degrees.
The imaginary line that divides the illuminated side of the Earth from the dark side is called the
circle of illumination.
The phenomenon of day and night alternating in a continuous cycle on Earth is a direct consequence of which motion? The movement of the Earth in its fixed elliptical orbit around the Sun is known as
revolution.
What is the precise length of time taken by the Earth to complete one full revolution around the Sun?
365 days, 5 hours, 48 minutes, 46 seconds.
Which mathematical adjustment keeps our calendar aligned with Earth's revolution by adding an extra day every 4 years?
Leap year.
In a leap year, the extra day is added to which specific month of the calendar?
February.
The changing of seasons on the Earth's surface throughout the year is caused by revolution combined with what factor?
The fixed inclination of the
On
Earth's
which two
axis.
dates of the year are days and nights globally equal in length everywhere on Earth?
21st March and 23rd September.
The term equinox literally means
equal night.
on 21st June, the Northern Hemisphere experiences its longest day and shortest night. This position is called the
Summer solstice.
During the summer solstice in the Northern Hemisphere, the sun's rays fall vertically overhead at the
Tropic of Cancer.
On 22nd December, the Southern Hemisphere experiences summer because the sun's rays fall vertically overhead at the
Tropic of Capricorn.
When the Northern Hemisphere is experiencing the winter solstice, what season is it in the Southern Hemisphere?
Summer.
Which unique geographical region experiences continuous 24-hour daylight during the Northern Hemisphere's summer solstice?
The Arctic Circle and North Pole.
The dynamic apparent force that deflects moving objects like winds and ocean currents to the right in the Northern Hemisphere is called
Coriolis Force.
The Coriolis effect is a direct result of which specific motion of the Earth?
Rotation.
At which specific location on the Earth's surface is the Coriolis force exactly zero?
The equator.
The Coriolis force reaches its maximum intensity at which points on the Earth?
The poles.
The point in the Earth's elliptical orbit where it is at its maximum distance from the Sun is called
Aphelion.
On or around which date does the Earth reach its aphelion position?
July 04.
What is the approximate average velocity of the Earth as it moves along its orbit around the Sun?
29.8 kilometers per second.
The speed of Earth's rotation at the surface is fastest at the equator and decreases towards the poles. What is the speed at the equator?
1670 kilometers per hour.
What would happen to the cycle of days and nights if the Earth stopped revolving but continued rotating normally?
Days and nights would still
The
occur,
short-term
but
variation in the
seasons
length
would
of a solar
disappear.
day throughout the year is primarily caused by the Earth's elliptical orbit and
The Earth's axial tilt.
which European country is famously nicknamed the Land of the Midnight Sun due to its high latitude position near the Arctic Circle?
Norway.
The scientific term, vernal equinox, refers to the equinox that occurs in which season in the northern hemisphere?
Spring.
On 23rd September the Sun is directly overhead at the equator. This event is called the
Autumnal equinox.
The circle of illumination cuts all latitudes exactly in half only during which global celestial events?
Equinoxes.
Why do the regions beyond the Arctic and Antarctic circles experience months of continuous darkness or daylight?
Because of the tilt of the Earth's axis relative to the Sun.
Christmas is celebrated during the summer season in which of the following countries due to its hemispheric location?
Australia.
The total solar energy received at aphelion is slightly less than at perihelion. Why does the northern hemisphere still experience hot summers in July?
Because land masses in the northern
The variation in the
hemisphere
length
heat
of
up
daytime
intensely.
and nighttime during different seasons is a direct consequence of
The revolution of the Earth combined with its tilted axis.
what is the primary reason why the Sun appears to rise in the east and set in the west?
The Earth rotates on its axis from west to east.
The time system that uses the prime meridian at Greenwich as its foundational base for tracking global standard time is
Coordinated Universal Time, UTC.
if the Earth's axial tilt were increased from 23.5 degrees to 30 degrees, the seasonal variations would become
More extreme.
the slow changes in the shape of Earth's orbit and tilt over tens of thousands of years that trigger ice ages are called
Milankovitch cycles.
A person traveling from west to east across the international date line will automatically
Lose a day.
The international date line passes directly through which ocean stretch?
Pacific Ocean.
The international date line deviates from the 180-degree meridian at several points primarily to
Avoid splitting political or land territories under one calendar time.
how many standard time zones is the Earth theoretically divided into based on its 24-hour rotation cycle?
24 time zones.
Each standard time zone on Earth spans an angular width of how many degrees of longitude?
15 degrees.
What is the name of the central line of longitude used to calculate India's Indian Standard Time?
82.5 degrees east.
Indian Standard Time is ahead of Greenwich Mean Time by exactly how much time?
5 hours 30 minutes.
The twilight period observed just before sunrise is called dawn, whereas the twilight period observed just after sunset is called
dusk.
What causes the phenomenon of twilight to last much longer at higher latitudes near the poles than at the equator?
The sun sets vertically at the equator, but at an oblique angle at higher latitudes.
Which celestial coordinate system utilizes the celestial equator and the vernal equinox as reference points to map space objects?
Equatorial coordinate system.
Which of the following lines experiences equal length of day and night throughout the entire year?
Equator.
The apparent movement of the Sun between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn over a year is called its
annual apparent migration.
What is the name of the curve or figure 8 pattern formed if you photograph the Sun at the exact same time every day for a year?
Analemma.
The variation in the speed of the Earth along its elliptical orbit is mathematically explained by which law?
Kepler's second law.
What is the name of the point in the sky directly above an observer's head at a 90-degree angle?
Zenith.
The angular distance of a celestial body measured eastward along the horizon from the north point is called
Azimuth.
If a planet's rotation period is exactly equal to its revolution period around its star, it is in a state of
synchronous rotation.
Which planet in our solar system takes longer to complete one rotation on its axis than it does to complete one revolution around the Sun?
Venus.
The small shifting of the Earth's rotational axis relative to its crust over a period of about 433 days is known as
the Chandler wobble.
What type of calendar system relies strictly on the cycles of the moon phases rather than the Earth's revolution around the Sun?
Lunar calendar.
The traditional Gregorian calendar used globally today is categorized as what type of calendar system?
Solar calendar.
The phenomenon where the Sun does not set below the horizon for a 24-hour period is strictly limited to which latitudinal zones?
Between 66.5 and 90 degrees.
The exact path on the celestial sphere that the Sun appears to follow over the course of a year is called the
ecliptic.
The 2 points where the celestial equator intersects the ecliptic plane are known as the What is the primary reason why solar days
equinoctial
are
points.
slightly longer than sidereal days?
Because the Earth advances along its orbit while rotating, requiring it to turn a bit extra to face the Sun.
The fractional day value of approximately 0.2422 days added up over 4 years creates the necessity for which calendar day?
Leap day.
According to the rules of the Gregorian calendar, a century year is a leap year only if it is divisible by
400.
Which of the following century years was a valid leap year based on the Gregorian rule?
2000.
The shifting of the dates of the equinoxes over thousands of years due to the slow change in the orientation of Earth's rotational axis is called
Axial precession.
the point in the sky directly opposite the zenith located straight beneath the observer's feet is called the
Nadir.
The angular distance of a celestial body north or south of the celestial equator is called its
Declination.
the coordinate on the celestial sphere analogous to longitude measured eastward from the vernal equinox is
Right ascension.
the dynamic difference between standard clock time and sundial time is called the
Equation of time.
At the equator the noon sun is directly overhead exactly how many times a year? At the Tropic of Cancer the noon
Twice
sun
a year.
reaches the absolute zenith exactly how many times a year?
Only once a year.
At any latitude located completely outside the tropics the noon sun will reach the zenith.
Never.
The angle at which the sun's rays strike the Earth's surface is lowest at which regions, causing less heating per unit area?
The polar regions.
The time interval between two successive passages of the Earth through its perihelion point is called the
Anomalistic year.
The time taken for the sun to return to the same equinox point is the
Tropical year.
A sidereal year is slightly longer than a tropical year by about 20 minutes primarily due to the effect of
Precession of the equinoxes.
What is the name of the astronomical phenomenon where the moon passes directly between the Earth and the sun blocking out the solar disk?
Solar eclipse.
The plane formed by the Earth's orbit around the sun is known as the
Ecliptic plane.
The Earth's equatorial plane is tilted relative to the ecliptic plane by an angle of
23.5 degrees.
The point in an orbit where a satellite or the moon is closest to the Earth is called
Perigee.
the point in an orbit where a satellite or the moon is furthest from the Earth is called
Apogee.
When the moon is at its perigee position and aligns perfectly as a full moon it appears significantly larger and is called a
Supermoon.
The second full moon occurring within a single calendar month is popularly referred to as a
Blue moon.
The phenomenon of tides in the Earth's oceans is primarily caused by the differential gravitational forces exerted by
The moon and the sun.
the maximum tidal range occurs when the sun, Earth, and moon are aligned in a straight line producing
Spring tides.
spring tides occur during which specific phases of the lunar cycle?
New moon and full moon.
When the gravitational pull of the Sun and the Moon act at right angles to each other relative to the Earth, the resulting lower tides are called
Neap tides.
Neap tides occur during which specific phases of the Moon?
First and third quarter moons.
The periodic rise and fall of ocean water that occurs exactly once every day is categorized as a
Diurnal tide.
The most common tidal pattern featuring to high tides and to low tides of approximately equal height each day is
Semi-diurnal tide.
the systematic study of the Earth's ocean tides and their mathematical prediction falls under the field of
Hydrography and oceanography.
the frictional drag caused by ocean tides gently slows down the Earth's rotation over geological time scales.
Tidal deceleration.
Because of tidal deceleration, the length of a standard day on Earth is slowly increasing by approximately how much over time?
1.7 milliseconds every century.
What adjustment is occasionally made to coordinated universal time to compensate for the gradual slowing of Earth's rotation?
Leap second.
Which scientific agency is responsible for determining when a leap second needs to be inserted into global atomic time scales? The alignment pattern where the Earth is directly between the Sun and
International
an outer
Earth
planet,
Rotation
making that
Service.
planet appear brightest in the night sky is
Opposition.